Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. According to UPI, rescue workers in Venezuela have pulled two 11-year-old boys alive from the rubble of collapsed buildings, providing a rare glint of hope days after consecutive 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes devastated the country. The twin disasters, which struck on Wednesday, have claimed at least 1,450 lives, injured approximately 3,150 people, and displaced more than 12,000. One of the boys, named Moises, was rescued after spending over 80 hours in darkness beneath 10 feet of debris in La Guaira state. Miraculously, the way the structure collapsed created a protective pocket of space, leaving him uninjured. The other boy, Belkis Barreto, was found alive and brought out on a stretcher hours later. Officials emphasize that rescue operations are in a crucial phase as workers continue to search for survivors, despite the lack of food and water for those still trapped under the wreckage. Amid the ongoing rescue efforts, personal tragedies continue to surface, including the loss of the wife and children of Argentine soccer player Lucas Trejo, whose home was completely destroyed in the quakes. According to Al Jazeera, a United States brokered framework agreement signed by the governments of Lebanon and Israel has sparked protests and intense criticism in Beirut. The deal, which aims to establish a path toward peace after months of devastating military escalation, has been met with anger from residents and political groups, particularly supporters of Hezbollah. Critics point out that the 14-point Washington agreement does not force the immediate withdrawal of Israeli troops from occupied territories in southern Lebanon, where Israel has established a security zone. Hezbollah chief Naim Qassem declared the agreement null and void, calling it a humiliating surrender of sovereignty. While supporters of the Lebanese government argue it had little leverage against Israel's military superiority, analysts compare the framework to the Oslo Accords, warning it places too much reliance on the U.S. as a neutral mediator. There are also deep concerns over a clause requiring the Lebanese armed forces to disarm non-state armed groups, which critics fear could incite internal conflict within Lebanon. According to a report by TechCrunch, Ford Motor Company has rehired approximately 350 veteran engineers, often referred to as graybeard engineers, after discovering that artificial intelligence and automated systems fell short of producing high-quality vehicles. Ford's chief operating officer, Kumar Galatra, admitted that the automaker had relied too heavily on automated quality systems, which led to disappointing results. In response, the company brought back former employees and technical specialists from suppliers to hunt for design and manufacturing failure points before parts ever reached the assembly plant floor. While Ford is not abandoning artificial intelligence entirely, the rehired veterans are now being utilized to train younger staff members and reprogram existing AI tools to operate more effectively. This shift back to human expertise is already yielding significant benefits. Ford estimates that utilizing these experienced specialists will help reduce quality-related costs by $1 billion this year alone. Additionally, the automaker recently secured the top spot among mainstream brands in the latest J.D. Power Initial Quality Survey, demonstrating the success of integrating veteran human knowledge with technological systems. According to a report by R&Z, polling stations have officially closed in New Caledonia as electoral officials begin tallying votes for Sunday's crucial provincial elections. These elections mark the first to be held in the French Pacific Territory in 7 years, following the abandonment of the scheduled 2024 elections due to deadly riots that resulted in 14 deaths and approximately €2.2 billion in economic damage. R&Z's French Pacific correspondent, Patrick Decloer, reported that the voting process concluded without any major incidents. Security was exceptionally tight, with approximately 2,500 law enforcement officers, including police, gendarmes, and specialized anti-crime units, deployed across the territory to monitor the polling stations and surrounding areas. A total of 192,584 registered voters were eligible to participate in this election. Many voters and their families gathered at polling stations later in the day, planning to stay and observe the counting process. Preliminary results are expected to be announced later in the evening. Tsingtao reports that a historic heat wave is sweeping across Europe, breaking temperature records in multiple countries and causing severe casualties and infrastructure damage. In France, public health officials estimate that the extreme heat contributed to approximately 1,000 excess deaths within just 1 week, with individuals aged 65 and older accounting for 85% of the fatalities. Meanwhile, Germany registered a record daytime high of 41.5 degrees Celsius in Saxony-Anhalt, alongside a historic night temperature. The intense heat sparked major wildfires in German forests, some of which were complicated by unexploded World War II ammunition. In Berlin, police deployed water cannons to help cool down residents. The heat wave also severely disrupted transport systems. Concrete highways cracked, and rail services in Leipzig were suspended due to damaged tracks. Additionally, more than 600 passengers were evacuated from a stranded train that lost power and air conditioning. In the Czech Republic, temperatures reached a record-breaking 41.1 degrees Celsius. Scientists from World Weather Attribution warn that such extreme heat waves are now 200 times more likely to occur than they were 20 years ago due to the accelerating effects of climate change. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.